Alright, we're watching Gnocchi, who's going to be playing Winston on Blizzard World. This is gold on console. My thoughts at the time were they had a Torbjorn in his turret grouping near the Zarya, so I can't frontline. They also had a Lifeweaver to pull a Zarya if she ever got in danger. My team comp can't be theirs. My team comp can't beat theirs in a pure damage battle because of the Zarya plus Torbjorn plus turret. I settled to dive a Lifeweaver instead, so their tank would have less protection, but doing so left my team vulnerable to Zarya. Probably the worst game I've ever had. I know there was something I could have done, but I can't figure out what. So this is a short video. OP's team fails to cap the point on attack, and then they get rolled immediately on defense. So let's take a look at this game, because it's actually going to be kind of an interesting one. My overall takeaway here is I don't think your team did you any favors in this one. I think they struggled to play around a Winston in this lineup, and I think the enemy team did a good job capitalizing it. I still think this was winnable, but I don't think there's anything that you could have changed in the game that would have changed the outcome here, right? Like if I was like coaching you over the shoulder, for example, like live coaching, I don't think that I could have told you anything that would have changed the game, which is pretty unusual. I would say 80% plus of games, I feel like if I was like coaching somebody, we could win the game. I think that you could not win this game at this point in time because I don't think you're good enough at Winston mechanics to actually do it. Like even if you did all the right calls, I just don't think you're at that level of skill with Winston to be able to win this game, and we're gonna kind of cover why. But we're gonna do something a little unusual initially because again, the problem is attacking Blizzard World first. I have a whole video on how to attack and take Blizzard World that I will also link if I remember, that I think might also be useful. But it's not. I think you generally get how to attack the point, so it's not like that's not like the core problem here. I'm just noting that the issue here is Blizzard World first. Let's kind of watch and see what happens. So you're gonna start up top. Okay, great. Like you're just spotting, seeing what happens. You know there's a turret. You know the enemy lineup. Okay, great. You zap a little bit. All right, Lucio comes in. You're kind of sitting around. You're waiting. You get a little bit of healing. You're missing about 100 health. You see the Ashes on the right side isolated. Great, you jump her. She knocks you back with Coach Gun. You're going to chase her down. All right, zap, 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 zap. You get low. Return to your team for healing. Good. All right, get healed up. All right, Suzu gets forced. Genji goes in. He sees an opportunity. Right, gets a Quill and Torb. Excellent. You go in. You see the Ashes low. Kill the Ash. Cool. You get low over here. I think you realize that both of your supports are dead right now. Or actually, sorry, you know one of your supports is dead. Your Moira is dead. Your Ana or your Kiriko is still alive. You decide to jump out this way instead, and the Kiriko dies. And then now it's a 2-on-3. You have you come back, but you have no health. So these two are gonna end up dying, right? And then you're just like, okay, whatever, you suicide off the map, which is like ultimately a good call at this point because like what, you're not gonna win this fight. Okay, so go forwards. I know right now. Okay, we're starting our next attack. It's 241. So in the first minute and 20 seconds, you've had one attack because that last attack took so long. This is like a really big thing to emphasize is you should be getting attacks every 30 to 45 seconds. You can't be taking this long to take a fight. All right, zapping up here, staging on top again, right? Looking. All right, drop low, right? You're zapping the turret on the bottom side of the screen for people who don't see it. See the turret over here, zap, 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 zap. Blah, 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 you know, keep going. I'll just set to 1.5x speed. You come back, you get healing, great, get healed up. I would note the Zarya is at 94% ult charge right now, and you're at 39%. You jump over there. Wait. For the record, now we're at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. We still haven't even done our second attack right now. I think you're all 5 people alive. You're just sort of chilling right now. 204. Again, we've only had one attack in the first 2 minutes. You jump, all right, you're on Lifeweaver. Lifeweaver goes up. Pulls the soldier here. All right, so right now, Kitsune gets popped, but Zarya does a good grab. I think your whole team is in this. There's really nothing you could possibly do here to change the outcome of this. So you jump back. 2 people still manage to live, but it's irrelevant. You have to retreat. Okay, fine. So we've gotten 2 attacks in the first minute and 2 minutes and 40 seconds ish. Like we're basically starting our next attack right now. It's no good. It's taking way too long. By the way, in case you're wondering like why I'm not reviewing the details, we're going to cover it again, like from your perspective, to talk through the exact mechanics. I'm just like, walking through generally like what happens in the 4 minutes, like why does this go so wrong. All right, you jump over here, go left to Lifeweaver again. Lifeweaver pedals up. Fine, you jump up top. Lifeweaver dashes away. Chase Lifeweaver again. Zap, 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 zap. All right, now your team pops Coalescence, and they pop Blade, and they pop Pfizer. Right, so that's 3 ultimates going out right now. Zap, zap, zap. Beat gets popped, and Tree gets popped to counter both of the DPS ultimates. Genji kills the turret. I think he's going to kill somebody here. Yeah, he's going to kill the soldiers through it. Excellent. All right, your soldier dies. You're here. You're swinging around with Primal Rage. Go, 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 go. All right, still chasing over here. Still chasing. Still chasing, right? Now you're in a 2v4 situation. You're like, okay, we gotta reset. So you have pretty good awareness of like when you're not gonna win a fight. That's good, right? I think that's really good. I think you understand like, okay, this fight's not gonna work. You get 25 seconds left. Waiting, you jump up top of the stage. All right, waiting for team group. I think this is also good. I think again, I think you have a really good awareness of like this fight's not gonna work. / my team's not here. I think that you do a good job with those things. All right, waiting. Now you engage Life Weaver again. Jump, zap. Right, your team starts walking up. Everybody collapses in on you right now. You jump out, right, half health. Fight. Another grav gets popped. You get 2 people in this grav. They're gonna get melted, and then you're gonna lose. Okay, so what went wrong here? Well, a lot of things. Right. One of the things I already highlighted is it takes you way too long to take fights. But let's kind of start right here. So right over here, you're staging on top right. I think you use your right click way too much. That is one of the biggest takeaways I have here. Your right click does so little damage. So your right click does 50 damage after you fully charge it. I think the actual DPS is something like 25, 30 DPS. It's something really, really low. You literally could get to low masters without using your right click ever. To be perfectly frank, like remember that Winston Overwatch 1 didn't even have a right click, and he's functionally the same hero. So you don't need to be charging right click this much. You should just be thinking, hey, rather than wasting time like right clicking people, think, is this right click actually going to help me? Like, am I going to right click somebody who can't get healed and then I can dive and kill them? Great. Otherwise, if it's going to heal up right away, there's no point in right clicking. Like, if you're doing that for spam damage, that's wrong. If you want to get spam in, like if you want to farm ulti, I would just walk up to this corner and just start zapping everyone. Because you see there's like 3-4 people here, even the Zarya's here, even if she puts bubble, I'll zap through it, no problem. I'll just keep zapping, it's not a big deal. Like, yeah, I'm going to feed her some charge, she's going to get charged no matter what. If I'm damaging 3-4 heroes, like I'm doing like 180 to 240 damage a second, that's a lot of damage. Alright? And you just put bubble there when you get low, right? Your team pockets you, and then you walk back, right? You do it again, people start getting lower and lower, and then you jump in and you kill everybody. You know, it is a legitimate option here to brawl in some situations, depending on the enemy team and your team comp and like a bunch of other factors, especially with the Moira. Another problem you struggle from is that you have no synergy with your Moira, and it's going to be a problem because you can't get healing. But Ashe gets overextended here, okay? You see that, which is good. This is correct. Ashe is alone right now. She is vulnerable. The problem here is you are actually not at full health when you dive. And part of this is because you expose yourself so much while you're setting up. You're missing 100 health, and it's actually more than 100 because it's armor. Armor has a damage reduction of 30%, which actually works out to about, if you inverse it, it's like 40% more health. So you're actually missing about 140 health right now, not just 100, which is significant because as we're going to see, this is going to make a big difference. You're going to jump on the Ashe. So number one here is this is basically dead on, which is great. However, if I'm thinking ahead here, the Ashe is going to try to move away from me. Right? The second she lands, I think Coach Gun is going to happen here. So how do I avoid her getting away with Coach Gun? Well, she's either going to Coach Gun this way, backwards, right, towards the gate, or she's going to Coach Gun towards her team. If you Coach Guns towards her team, fine. I'm actually fine. I would prefer to collapse. Like, I'm very likely to win this fight if I can collapse all 5 heroes together over here, because then my team can take this space here and this space here and then this space here, and then we can all shoot at them from 3 different directions, and then they lose. So if she goes towards her team, I'm okay with that. That's okay. She wants to go this way, fine. I don't want her to go this way if it means that she can end up surviving, right? So that's the thing, is like, I do not want this to happen. So what does that mean for my landing location? I want to actually be leaning on this side because I actually want to force her this way or this way, right? Towards her team or towards the choke here for me to be able to clean up the kill, or for my teammates to kill the kill, or she lives but plays with her team. Again, there's no reason to expect anyone will ever die in your first dive. At higher ranks, this virtually never happens. Everyone knows exactly how much Winston does, damage Winston does. They know exactly how to play around him. Nobody dies in the first dive to you, okay? It's really, that's to soften them up. Maybe your DPS or supports can get kills, and then you rotate, right? Rotate back, reset, and then you go again, and then you kill them on the second dive, second or more. So I'm not expecting to get a kill here. There really is no reason. Both supports are alive. They're under no pressure. She should not die here, right? Again, all Life Weaver or Lucio has to do is just step out here, and they're guaranteed to save her life. But you get Coach Gunned away. And this goes back to, look, Coach Gun here is actually really bad because A, it separated her from me. B, I'm actually vulnerable now, and I can take damage from the backside. Luckily, they didn't react fast enough, but they could have shredded you. Like, you could have taken 200 damage there easily, and you're going to keep going after the Ashe. Note right now, what do I do after she Coach Guns me? Oh, gotta back up a little bit more. So we're going to jump. All right, Coach Gunned away. I'm gonna walk forwards. I'm at 66 ammo right now. I do 60 damage a second. She only has like 110-ish health. I can just walk up and kill her right now. So you're gonna walk forward. You're charging your right click, so you're not really committed to this. You zap and do, I don't know, 30 damage right now. And then you're like, you could zap her more right now, right? You could zap. You're off the cooldown this moment in time. But instead you decide to reload, and you decide to jump away. But like, I think you could have done a significant amount of damage here with the zap. Instead of doing that right click, just walked up and zapped her, and then jumped away. I still don't think you get this kill, but you could have gotten more damage in than right click. Which is why one of the big notes here is, I think you should right click way less than you do right now. You use it all the time. Okay, so now we covered right click, and the general misplay here in terms of how to go after the Ashe. Now, on the reset, I don't want to reset in front of them, because that's not a reset. I'm going to take a ton of damage here. I don't want to fight this. I need to jump around the corner to land here, right, and play back here to get healing. Now I've landed in the middle, which means now I'm taking a ton of damage, which means now I'm forcing out all these resources. Because you made a mistake landing in the open, your Kiriko gets nervous and she Suzus you. That's bad, because it means Kiriko doesn't have Suzu for the next 15 seconds. That's your fault. Look at it from the Kiriko's perspective. You land, you're here, you're critical. She's like, oh god, you might die, and she Suzus you. I understand why she did this. She shouldn't have Suzu'd you, but she did, because you forced your teammates to make an error to keep you alive. That's bad. That's really bad. Having Kiriko Suzu here is really bad. Like, for example, if there's an Ana, she probably throws a grenade here, and that's also really bad. If I see Ana throw a grenade at me, I'm like, I screwed up, right? I like know right away that I screwed up. That's your perspective here, is you made a mistake here, jumping here instead of here. Like a 5-meter difference is the difference between being full health right now versus forcing out Suzu and still not being full health. Everyone's in danger. Your Mori has to retreat now too. She has to fade way the hell back. Again, if you landed in an intelligent spot, right? If you landed right here, then you can just go up and zap the corner and kind of deter the Zarya from moving forwards. But because you're here and Zarya realizes how low you are and everyone can follow, she's able to chase us down for a lot more damage than she should. Okay. So you're here, Lois, Genji goes in, immediately kills the Torp, excellent, right? So good play right here. You're looking for a follow-up. You're not full right now. I think you might know the Ashe is low. Even so, that's a gutsy call to like jump here, but like, I understand. I think that this is not necessarily a good call, because honestly, Life Weaver could have just gripped her away and then you get nothing done and die. I don't think this is a good jump. I think you should just wait for health, because they're already down 1 and they have a long spawn. So this is going to be a 5v4 situation if you just wait for health. That's A. B is that you're really low. Remember, you're at 300 something. If you'd gotten the full 100 health from before, right? You hadn't take the extra damage over here, you should have like 200 more health right now, and this would have been a lot more viable versus right now, we're at 147 instead of like 350, 300-ish. So you get super low right now. Jumping away was 100% a mistake. No matter what's going to happen after this fight, jumping away this way is no good. There's no mega here that you can get quickly, right? Best case scenario, you get this mini, but that doesn't make a difference. It doesn't move the needle for a tank. You should jump back to your team right now. And the weird thing here is, even with Zarya on high charge, I think there's a chance that you might have been able to turn this fight around by jumping back to the Zarya. Why? If you jump back, the Zarya, well, first of all, Zarya may not be full ammo, right? A. Yeah, she's almost out of ammo. You could have just landed in front of her right here, right? Or on top of her and zapped her and distracted her. The Kiriko can heal you, and she definitely does not kill the Kiriko here. Maybe she kills you, but she definitely doesn't kill the Kiriko, and you get pocketed through it. Right? Now you'd be right here, standing, right? Zap. Body block, right? Body block. Maybe she still tries to kill the Kiriko through you, in which case she splits the damage and you don't die. Maybe she focuses and kills you. No matter what, just die with your team. You going way out here just wastes a ton of time. And now the rest of your team is also wasting time. This fight is lost. Like, all 3 of you are just running around like chickens with your heads cut off. Like, this is not doing anything. And look, the time just keeps ticking off. You should get, on Blizzard World, on a 4-minute timer, you should get a minimum of 5 fights. And I think you get 3 or 3.5 here, maybe 4, but you definitely don't get a minimum of 5 fights, ideally 6+. Because you just take too long, right? You waste all this time. You do realize, okay, this fight's not winnable, and then you suicide. Again, a whole minute, a quarter of your time is popped off the clock, and you're not even ready to start doing the second attack. So again, I think you should jump back to your team, ride or die, right? Like either we win or we lose, but like I definitely don't want to be jumping out to like Narnia, because like what's gonna happen from there? Like it's not gonna lead to anything productive. Coming out here, right? Again, what's the point of charging this right click? You could just jump them, like right here. Like if you had jumped, you could have jumped him right away, but okay, he's leaving, fine. I know where he's going, right? I could have just walked to the right here, and then I would jump over the top and land over here. Especially since you can hear the soldier, you could have jumped, landed behind the soldier, pushed him towards your team, body blocked him from getting away, kill. And there you go, and you're done, right? Then you're good. Like then you get a pick and you probably win the fight. But instead, we're over here. Okay, one thing to note is you don't have to start every fight by staging up here. Do you have good vision here? Yes, but I don't have to do that. And like you feel like very like focused, like tunnel visioned on like having to play up here. But that's not necessary. I could walk up. I could even walk up to the Zarya, zap, 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 like look for it. Look, okay, Life Reader's there, jump up and just jump here. I could go right side, right, and just walk up, play this corner, zap, 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 and then go here. But by playing top right all the time, I have good visibility, but I'm also eating a lot of spam, which is slowing me down. I want to engage in the next 2 seconds, right, off cooldown. So right now, I want to be engaging. Unfortunately, Torb gets a kill. That happens, right? Teammate got picked, whatever, right? You're out here, you know the turret's there. So you zap it once. For the record, zapping right away dramatically reduces DPS. Wait until it fully charges, then zap. So you see how long it takes you to kill this turret? Right? Like it's actually going to take you all day to kill that turret. Meanwhile, you've just fed 400 points of ult charge away right now. So that's no good. You can't be doing that. Right? It's not really your job to be killing the turret to begin with, but if you are going to do it, kill it properly, make sure to charge all the way. So I'm back here. Once again, Kiriko Suzu'd me because she's scared, right? Remember earlier, if she hadn't Suzu'd me, she could have used Suzu to save me and her. Then we're guaranteed to win the fight against Zarya. So your past mistakes become future problems that you have to deal with because you misplayed earlier. So right now, Kiriko Suzu's you because she's scared. Like, she's no reason for her to Suzu you, but you were low, and she got spooked, and so she Suzu'd you. Alright? You're peeking right now, missing 200 health. Just be patient. Just slow down, get the healing, then go. Playing a tank without your full health is like, what's the point of playing tank at that point? Right? Because then you're just a worse version of DPS. Like, your DPS with a larger hitbox. So you get absolutely shredded right now, and then you're forced to pop bubble and jump away. Again, we have not started our second fight yet. It's been 1 minute and 45 seconds. You can't be taking this much damage while you get ready for the spot. Right? Sit here, get healed. Right? Then from here, jiggle peek a little bit to figure out what's going on. Okay, I know Zarya's here, I know Torb's here, I know Lucio's here. Jump over the top, land here, touch the point briefly, force them to start rotating. Because when you touch this, I guarantee you they're going to start rotating to be like, oh, what the heck, we got to deal with Winston over here. Then you can decide from there, do I jump up top? Do I rotate to the left? I can also jump over the top, right, over here and split the team. You have a lot of options there, but just walking out in the open now is no good. Right? You have to immediately pop bubble. Defensive bubbles to keep yourself alive are almost always a mistake. If your bubble is popped in your backline, I talked about this in my last video, if you pop bubbles in your backline, 90% of the time you will lose the fight. And I would say at GM, you will lose the fight 99% of the time. There's like almost no way that you can pop a bubble in your backline and expect yourself to be able to win. Because popping a bubble in backline, it's not just the bubble itself, it's the fact that you aren't applying pressure to the opposing team. So it's double whammy. Okay? So like that combined with the fact that you're not aggressing at all means that they're going to steamroll you in this fight, which is exactly what's happening. Note for a second, the ult charge situation, the enemy Zarya has 95% ult charge. You have 41. The Zarya has over double your ult charge. Look at the rest of their team. The Life Weaver is at 90%. Your Kiriko, okay, matched. Okay, so we're basically the same. Their Lucio, 70% matched with your Warrior. Okay, fine. Look at your DPS, right? You got 69 over here. You got 52 against 86 and 36. So my point here is they have ult advantage from the fact that the Zarya is ready to go. Okay, your support's more or less lined up here. Okay, DPS, yeah, I mean more or less lined up. I think your Genji's probably the better of the DPS, and he's like ahead. But you're way behind on the ult race, and a big part of it is you're feeding this damage away to the opposing team, and they're using it to build ult charge. That's one of the reasons why your supports are so high up. Is because they're able to constantly keep pocketing you and get that extra ult charge in. So this is a problem, right? And the Zarya's grabs win her 2 of these fights. I think you only fight like 4 or 5 fights. She wins like half of the fights just literally by grabbing your team. And you just can't build your ultimate to be able to have that same level of impact, assuming you're even at getting as much value out of Primal as you are with grab. Alright, we're at 381 health now. Should we be going? No, just wait until I get full health. I need full health before I go. Like, if I don't get healed, like, I gotta figure out what's going on up here to get healed. Right, we're waiting. Am I at full health? No, I'm still missing 100 health. And yet I'm going. Like, my Kiriko's right here. Just give her a second. Just give her a second to heal you. Like, yeah, she's missing, but like, this is gold. Everybody makes mistakes. Just give her another second to get the second heal into you and you're full health. But you're going right now despite missing 100 health. And now let's talk about jumps. So, A, your jumps are way too high. You can't be doing jumps like this, okay? So let me demonstrate, right? what this should look like. So if we imagine this is the flat ground, okay? This is low ground. If you are here, you are doing this jump, which is no good. You want to be doing this jump, right? Where you minimize the time that you're in the air. As a general rule, you do not want altitude on Winston. As a general rule for jumps, you do not want altitude. You want to get there as soon as you possibly can, 75% plus of the time. And the other 25% are very situational. It's too hard for me to explain right now. But as a general rule, I want to get there as soon as I possibly can. I do not want to take these crazy like parabolic angles of like very, very high parabolas. I just want to go like up here right away to reduce the amount of time they have to shoot me down and to increase the speed at which my damage will be applied. That is point number one. Point number two, let's talk about landing zones. So where do I want to land right now? I want to land like right here. Why? Because it's going to maximize the damage of the 50 burst of landing. Number two, it's pretty likely that it's going to knock him to low ground, which is fine, at which point I can continue zapping if no one is shooting at me. Number three, landing here also allows me to back up inwards towards like the center of the high ground, which will cut their ability to attack me from LOS. Because if I am right here, I land right here, okay, I do 50 damage, right, zap, 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 Life Weaver drops, I melee him as he goes, I look, hey, anyone shooting at me? No? Okay, I'll just stand up here, keep zapping. Oh, people are starting to shoot at me? I just back up into the point, and now they can't see me, right? They can only shoot me for like, what, like half a second at most, and I step inside the point, and now I'm good. Okay, and maybe the Mora comes and joins me, maybe the Kiriko comes and joins me, or maybe not, like, and then I just figure out what to do from there. But you do not want to be landing so far away from the Life Weaver. So, as we watch, where do you actually end up landing? Way over here. As a reminder, this was where we were targeting. This is where you actually landed. This distance is the equivalent of losing out on 50 damage from your landing impact. This is bad, right? This stuff hurts. It really hurts. Winston struggles to deal damage, right? Lowest damage tank in the game by a long shot. That means you have to land jumps. You really, really have to land jumps, and also by extension, you also need to zap multiple targets as much as possible. But like on a single target I'm trying to focus down who's isolated, like Life Weaver is here, I have to land the jump. It's really not that hard because you have the ability to control yourself in the air. I strongly recommend you watch the previous video I just did on another Winston who was also gold, I think. Something like that. I think it was like gold 3. On Junkertown, because I talk about the same concepts about how important it is to land on target and to use your air control to adjust. It's not like you need to know exactly how far you need to go when you jump, right? In the air, you can go farther, you can go shorter, you can turn to the left, you can turn to the right. You have a lot of control in the air. There's no reason to be missing this jump onto the Life Weaver. But right now, the Life Weaver, not in particular danger, you should walk up on the platform with him. So against Life Weaver, I want to get point blank because I do not want him to be able to pedal away. That's another reason to land next to the Life Weaver. If I'm right next to him, if he pedals, great, I'm going up with you. And now I come all the way up top, and now I keep zapping him, and he's like, oh shoot, and then he dashes away. Great, now I force pedal, and I force dash. Excellent. I don't even need bubble here. Like, what's the bubble for? Like, you're already on high ground, nobody can shoot you. You don't need the bubble, right? I could keep zapping this Life Weaver. He drops down, great. I reload, now I drop in and pop bubble, zap 3-4 targets, get low, then I jump out. That is how we maximize impact here, okay? Like, this is the kind of stuff where I mentioned earlier where, like, I can't, if I was live coaching you, I couldn't have explained all this stuff that quickly because it happens too fast, right? It's not necessarily, like, major decisions you're making that are mistakes. It's, like, this, like, micro stuff of, like, trying to win every single engagement by little bits that you're kind of, like, falling short on. All right, right now, what's going on? I don't have bubble because I wasted it. I'm not at full health, but like low, reasonably healthy. I could probably try to do something, but Kitsune is going to get popped. I don't want to be right-click zapping right now. That's not going to win the fight. Like, there is no way in your head you thought, hey, if I zap the Lucio right now, that's going to lead to a winning fight. That's not going to do anything. Right now, I think you're heavily limited options because you wasted bubble. I think your best option here is to back up, jump, and then force both of these two off high ground. I think that's really the only thing you can do right now with the turret here and the Lucio and the Zarya. But, unfortunately, Zarya, so this is a big grab, okay? There's 3 people that are caught in it. She grabs all 3 of them, pulls them in. Suzu gets forced, right? Get forced down. 2 kills right there because of the grab, and the Mora is going to fade away. The Zarya just killed 2 and won this team fight. Okay, well, I mean, that happens. But flip it around, right? If we're comparing tank-to-tank impact, where's your ultimate? Well, first of all, you're not even close, right? You're missing 43% of your ultimate. But number 2 is, are you going to get that much value out of Primal Rage? we'll wait until later and we'll see. But this fight's over, right? I don't think there's really anything you could have done differently. Like once the grab was popped, this fight's over. Like just get out. And again, like I will clarify, I do think you have a really good job, or you do a really good job identifying how many people are alive in your team and whether the fight is winnable. I think that actually feels significantly better than gold. I actually wonder if you play maybe another role at higher than gold, like if you play like support, let's say at platinum or diamond or something, because like you have a really good feel for like, nope, fight's over, and then you get out, which I think is excellent. I think that's significantly better than I would expect from your level. All right, same thing. Here we go. We got all these people out here. We got a turret. I'm standing in the open, but why? What am I going to do out here? Just chill for a second. Wait for your team, and then jiggle peek quickly to decide, hey, what's going on? What's happening right now? Soldier, overextended. I can see it. I can hear it. I jump over. I land behind him. If he's like, oh, shoot, there's a Winston behind me, he runs this way, tries to get back to his team this way. Okay, cool. Maybe he dies, right? Pretty good chance that he dies here. If not, so what? No big deal. But you should not kill the turret right now. That's simply not your job. Just kill the soldier. The soldier is your priority. But you wait so long that the soldier is able to get away. That was your opportunity to get a pick before this fight began. You need to use your mobility to get picks. You're really bad at fighting like really strong defensive positions. It's simply not your job. But from here, before I jump, I look. Is my team ready to go? My team is absolutely not ready to go. I don't want to be jumping, right? I don't want to be jumping when my team is over here. Okay, I want to be jumping when my team is over here, right? This good, this bad. Why? The difference between here and here is like 5 seconds, which means that's 5 seconds where I'm not going to have any help in this fight. 5 seconds is an eternity in Overwatch. You're going too early, way too early. Your team has no ability to follow up on this, right? Let's imagine you got the Life Weaver down to 50 health, and he drops down. Is he going to die here? No. There's nobody who can see him. That's the problem, is you're going too early. Also, we see exact same problem with landing again. The landing is way too far away. The Life Weaver doesn't feel like he's in danger. You're not close enough to get up on the playoff platform. Exact same problem as last time. Exact same result. Once again, you're like, man, what do I do right now? Like, the Life Weaver's up there. Everyone's being healed. No one is dying or low down here because you went too early. Right? Genji's doing a good job poking him down from range, though. You jump back up. Okay, fine. I would note here is, I'm pretty sure you jump way too high. Yeah, you need to air brake right now, or even a second short, so that you can land right on top of the platform. This, I would say, is a fairly difficult jump, and I don't think people consistently start hitting this until Masters. I think doing the vertical air brake is much harder than doing a horizontal air brake. But this, you see how high up you get? Like, this is way over the Life Weaver. That allows him to get away before your landing impact damage is done. And now you're forced to start chasing him. You miss out on both the landing impact damage and you miss out on the chase damage. Because if you landed with them, you'd be zapping him the whole way. You take 50 damage plus like almost 60 more right now of a second of zapping. He'd be missing 110 health, which would get him all the way down to 76 health right now. And then maybe you get the kill here or somebody helps you with this. But now, what do? Okay, well, in this situation, I still have full health. I still have bubble because I held bubble this time, which is good. I'm just going to drop right now, right? If there are 4 people right here, there's 1 slept, I can drop right here into them. Another alternative is to go for the soldier, right? But I like wouldn't know if people are here. Going for soldier here is not like that bad an option, but I see my team's pushing in right, so I think I'd probably go for this. I drop in right here, I put down bubble, and I start zapping all 3 of them. And I rotate with them as they back up to get all the damage, and then I jump away if I need to. You can get massive amounts of damage right now, right? This is like your moment to shine. They're all clumped together. Yeah, they're like not so low, except for the Zarya who's going to get healed, but like you can do a lot of damage right now. But instead of dropping in them, you see that they all split around you. So what you wanted to do, okay, what you want to do right here is I want to drop here and I want to zap this way. That way I hit 1, 2, 3 targets right now. But instead, what ends up happening is you drop in the middle of them, and as a result, I can only zap 1 person at a time while there's still all these other targets around me. It's very important as Winston to try to keep multiple targets in front of you to get that damage out, because you do so little single target damage that you have to maximize your cleave, like spread damage, right? All you're doing right now is targeting the Torbjorn, who is literally the worst possible target right now. He has the most amount of health because he's 336, right? Zarya has 280. And he's got overhealth from
from Overload, which means that you don't even get ult charge for zapping him. Not that it matters that much right now. He's literally the worst possible target. You could zap the Zarya here, right? Who at least is somewhat low, or you could zap 2 supports, which is the best option, and burn them down. But this is no good. Now you realize it, you turn, too late, okay? Now you're trying to zap, and now all the ultis get popped. But once Beat gets popped, I'm not killing anybody, right? There's, like, nobody can die right now. Blade's popped. The important thing is, okay, how can I help confirm any kills here? But I'm looking, I'm like, look, these 2 all look low. Forget it, turn towards the supports and burn the supports. Good. You did get there, right? A little slow, but we're good. So zap, 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 zap. Coalescence gets popped. I'm getting kind of low, but I know Coalescence is popped, and I know I have Primal. So yeah, I'm keep going for it. We still have all 5 people. I'm looking for a jump right now. You get lifted by Plateau Platform, which is unfortunate. So one option right now, this would be a heck of a play. I would say this is like a Masters Plus play. Pop Primal, swipe, right? One swipe will knock him into the air, then do a short / medium jump. It's hard, tough to tell range, and then swipe again to knock him to the ocean. So I'll demonstrate what this looks like in the side view. So from here, you're going to knock him to roughly like this spot right there, and then you are going to, this is after Primal, right? You're going to jump here and do another swipe into the ocean. Is a possible play. I think that is not consistent, but I'm just noting that possibility is like the first thing that I saw in the situation. But the problem is Life Weaver actually does a lot of damage, and you are quite low right now, so this is not so good. Right? But I think you're gonna have to pop Primal here, but you pop Primal too late, and now you're not able to hit him. But that's fine. Still maybe winnable, right? You still have 5 people, or 4 and 4 right now. This is your moment, right? You pop Primal, just like their tank popped grab and killed 2. This is your job to win. The winnable fight, right? 4 and 4, winnable fight. At a minimum, every Primal needs to result in a kill. Either you killed them directly, or you led to that person being killed by like juggling them into your team, juggling them to the open, whatever it is. Every Primal must get a kill. I cannot emphasize it enough. Every Primal must result in a kill. Same thing for all tank ultimates, right? Every tank ultimate should result, Diva Bomb is exception. Every tank ultimate, besides Diva Bomb, maybe Whole Hog, should result in a kill. So, let's see, does that kill happen? Well, we're going to drop right here, right? Okay, I got a swipe. I knocked the Lightweaver. I've knocked a couple people around. Swinging at air. Oh, I hit the Torpor in there. Swinging at air. All right, okay, I'm hitting the Lightweaver. Okay, great. This is the moment, right? This is kind of like an easier opportunity than what's above. All I need to do, I need to do a short hop to here and swing, and he's gone. Right into the ocean he goes. Is that what happens? Well, instead of jumping, I just walk down. And I guarantee that you're doing this because you're afraid you're going to over jump this into the ocean. But the problem is if you don't even try this, you are giving up the value of Primal Rage. Right? It's like if you pop Overclock and you don't even bother using your Railgun because you're scared you're going to miss. What was the point of popping Overclock then? Like, this is what Primal Rage is designed to do, is to knock people out of position. You can get a kill right now by going for it. And yeah, sometimes you might jump in the ocean. That'll be embarrassing. But if you don't get a kill here, you will almost no way of winning the fight, which is exactly what happens now. That was 10 seconds of Primal. What did we do with the 10 seconds of Primal? Right? We'll run it back. So up here, all right, we're zapping. You pop Primal late. You could have hit him against the wall. You could juggle him out of the map, right, out of the point. You go over here, right? You hit him. Okay, fine, right? We're just kind of bouncing nobody around. Certainly nobody was low or vulnerable. Okay, great. Now, excellent opportunity. We go for it. Nope, not going for it. Then we miss that jump, which should have been up, right? And now we jump, and once again we miss. Other than the fact that it gave you more health, I think you would have been more effective without Primal Rage. And I think you were at the level of Winston where you're going to have a ton of trouble climbing any further unless you work on your Primal Rage mechanics. Like, you're kind of hard capped here as to how much better you can get at Winston unless you get better at hitting people with Primal Rage, right? I do have workshop codes for this. I know the map is broken right now. I just tested it before this. So I think there's another one that I'm aware of, but like you can look it up, search online too. But you need to practice Primal Rage. Like, it's really, really, really important. In the same way, like if you're Genji and you can't like get kills with Blade, to some extent you just aren't gonna be able to play Genji past like Gold. Because without Blade, like that's an enormous part of your hero. It's not like Diva. Like Diva, you can be bad at bombs, and it just doesn't really matter. But as Winston, you need to be good at Primal Rage. I'm not saying like great at Primal Rage. I'm not saying like, oh, you need to get like double hits juggling people around. Like just literally simple stuff, right? Against a hero with no mobility, can you kill him in 2 jumps? No? 3 jumps? 3 jumps, okay, we'll live with 3 jumps. If you can't get one 3 jumps, I don't think you can play Winston. It's gonna be too, and win games, to be clear, right? It's just gonna be too hard if you can't get value out of the ultimate. Remember, their enemy Zarya won that fight with Grav. You didn't even get close to influencing this fight with your Primal Rage. The gap in value between the Zarya and you is massive. To be clear, Grav is way easier than Primal Rage is to use, okay? I guarantee you probably played Zarya, you probably would have done the same thing. It would have been easy. That's what happens when you play like a high skill ceiling, low skill floor, or high skill floor, depending on how you define it, hero like Winston, right? If you're just not good at it, just like Tracer, right? If you're just not good at that aspect, you will struggle to get value out of Winston. At this point, this fight's clearly over, right? I think you're gonna realize you're gonna jump out. Yeah. So you jump out, you reset. So now we're down to 30 seconds, right? Bad situation to be in, right? Zap, okay, that's fine. Waiting. So jumping here I think is okay, because you know you need to touch the point relatively soon. I would hide right now. I really wouldn't try to like do any damage. I don't want to get chip damage at all, because I understand I'm not going to get it healed. Like if I lose 100 health right now, this is not going to heal before I have to touch the point. So you just need to chill right now. So you see the Life Weaver up top. I think you could have gone already by now. But yep, this is fine. Again, landed short. You zap, force down. Okay, that's good, right? 10 seconds, we're in good shape here. I'm thinking that I need to drop on the point, left side or right side, depending on where I hear them. At this situation, I think I probably drop right side and pop bubble and just zap, 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 zap. Okay? Since the blur is here. Yep, drop right side. Okay, this is fine. I think that we need to make sure that we're hitting multiple targets here. Right? Zap, 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 zap. I'm going to drop down right here, pop bubble, and then zap like the Zarya and the Torb here, for example, or Torb and Lucio. I know the Life Weaver is like sort of isolated, but the problem is I need to sort of stay on point here. Oh, actually, she gets tagged really badly here by the Anya too. So I could look for a Life Weaver. I think jumping up here is fine. Again, bad jump, way too much altitude. Also, landing spot wrong. I could have landed here, and this Lucio's nearly dead. You're going run away from the soldier, but now you've wasted too much time, and the fight's over. Like, the sense of urgency has to be here too. Like, just surviving here is irrelevant. I need to make sure I do enough damage to possibly win the fight. But you could have chased. Yeah, I think actually over here, just continuing to zap the Life Weaver here is your best play, and follow him over here, and then you probably get the kill in this situation, especially if you bubble off the Lucio. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna stop there. What's the overall takeaways? Number one, I think this is like kind of goes hand in hand with right-clicking less. I think you need to have a sense of urgency of like how fast you need to go. Okay, it's okay to just like you just need to go sometimes, right? Not somewhere that you're gonna die, but like you spend a little too much time like trying to kill a Torbjorn turret. The Torbjorn turrets don't do a lot of damage. Like you don't have to worry about it that much, right? You need to jump in, just start zapping, right? Really, really big. Just get in there as soon as you possibly can. Because otherwise, it's on offense. Because on offense, you're racing against the clock. Every second you waste is bad. If your team's 5, ready to go, go. Just go. Number one. Number two, jump mechanics. Right? Same thing as I talked about in the last video. You gotta be able to land on targets in the exact spot you want to be, plus or minus like 2 meters max. You gotta be like, if I'm right here and you told me I need to jump on top of this post, I could land it. Right? With pretty good accuracy, I can land it. If I'm missing, I'm not missing by very much, right? I'm like missing by like maybe this much on the post, right? And I could jump from that from like basically anywhere and hit this jump. And you just kind of need to practice that and just keep going, right? You don't need that level of precision. If I need to land, let's say, if I want to land here, you need to be able to land like in this space. Like that's about a meter, right? This is about 2 meters. 2 meters is really the outside limit as to what you could possibly miss on, right? But within, you're looking at like 2 meters-ish, honestly a little more than 2 meters, that's the space that you're looking for right now as like jump accuracy. All right, so that's number two is jump mechanics and accuracy. I would also throw Primal Rage into that. Your Primal Rage is like completely useless. And it's hard, right? I know, Primal Rage is really hard. I never got better at Primal Rage until I practiced in a workshop trainer. Like your practice with it in game is so infrequent, right? You get Primal Rage every 2-3 minutes, and then you pop it and it's 10 seconds, and then you just swing wildly and you go for it. But like you're never gonna learn like that. You have to practice it separately in order to get better at Primal Rage. That's number two. Number three, zap groups as much as you possibly can. Multiple targets, super important. Zap multiple targets to overwhelm the enemy sustain. If I'm only doing 60 damage a second, unless that person's going to die, I'm not going to win fights. But I'm zapping 3-4 heroes, even otherwise tanky heroes, that can be enough to swing the fight in your direction. And I think you give up a lot of opportunities to zap multiple targets. Okay, I'm going to wrap there. I will include all my normal Winston resources. I will include the Blizzard World map guide as well, in case that's of use to you. Again, I don't think that's like playing the map is really your issue. I'm just, in case you find it useful in general. All right, I'm going to hold there. Hopefully this is helpful.